bet it's a bullet gonna get the last laugh.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about this challenger event that's taking place in Pakistan. You know, Pakistan is considered to be like the best region, and it is. It's no longer considered, it is the best region in the world. And these guys have been defining the meta since like they showed up in Tekken 7. Radically overhauled the way we thought about Akuma and so many other things. Even Eliza, sleepers like Lucky Chloe carried that momentum into Tekken 8, and they've been doing great work. Arslan and his circle of soldiers have been dominant, from Atif to Bilal to Farzin to the John. The John has been going crazy. You know, he had that big moment at the recent tournament against Gosain. But this time we have a new tournament, Takedown 2025 in Pakistan. But as both commentators said on Twitter, this will be the biggest challenger event in history. And if you just watched a little bit of what's happening, you would quickly understand why. There's two matches that I want to talk about. The first match is this one with this little kid. Now, if you go back to Evil France, we saw a 15-year-old girl body, I believe it was, I can't remember, it was some type of EU pro, and that was like a wow moment. People were also hating, saying, look at how simple this game is, you know, to where kids can beat the pros. But me personally, I don't think that's the case, not always. Even if you think back to King Ray Jr. when he was a child and he was showing up to tournaments, he was catching some W's here and there, right? There is these kids really dedicate as much time as the pros, and they show up and they do great work. And then as they grow and get older, like King Ray Jr., they become monsters. So that girl, just like this little kid, are just monsters like in the making. What made it even funnier is that this little kid showed up playing Anna Williams, obviously the strongest character in the game. But I mean, when you watch the gameplay, he's moving just like Bilal would. You know, he's doing the same type of mix-ups, he's doing the same type of punch, he's doing the same type of gameplay. This kid, even though he's a kid, like, don't sleep on him. He's definitely going to be a monster. And I know when I said it, talking about the 15-year-old girl, people laughed. But once again, this is the next generation of soldiers, right? They're already here. It's kind of like you have the older generation, you have like the Knee generation, the Tekken 5 generation, you have like that era. And then Arslan and the Pakistanis and like Ulsan, I Musician, those guys are a little bit younger by like 10 years. And there's a next wave of players, right? Ulsan got some big victories, Arslan got some big victories, but now we're getting a glimpse at the next generation under them. And that's gonna be crazy, bro. Defense, like if you didn't know as a kid, you would just think it's like someone who's really good, some really good Pakistani player. And this is what's interesting as well, right? So many of these Pakistani players were never able to travel, were never able to do this, to do that, and this event came to them. It came to their home, and this is an opportunity for a lot of them to put in some serious work and just go crazy. I do want to unmute it for a second so you guys can hear what the commentators are saying.
Oh, the down back three. Okay. Kurogami, 3 rounds. No round brown. Can we get 6 straight rounds? Oh, this guy is insane, bro. This is just what? 10 years old? Yeah. Look at this guy.
Bro, that little kid is 10 years old. That is insane. And when you look at him, he looks locked in. He's not up there like a 10-year-old. He's like locked in. That's fire, bro. That's fire. I know a lot of people, when they see these kids do well at Tekken, they like hate and they're like, oh man, how did he do this? But me, bro, I think it's fire. Because I mean, it's not like he's being carried, right? Yes, Anna's powerful, Clive is powerful too, but it's like you can see that he's doing more than just Anna stuff. Like you can see he's actually playing the game. And this is one thing that I try to highlight. Like even if someone's playing a slimy character, you can't let that overshadow like the accomplishments of the player. They're still cooking and playing the game. Just because they're playing a powerful character, you could diminish their accomplishments a little bit if you want, but I be giving people their respect, bro. This little kid's going crazy. Okay, the next clip that I want to talk about was also wild as well. So you have a unknown player going up against Arslan Ash, and the character that the unknown player is using is, well, they're unknown to me. I don't want to be disrespectful, and this person may have like a, you know, real history, but this is my first time learning about the guy. But the character that he is using is Reina. Now, first off, Arslan Ash is using Nina. Now, we know he said that he was switching to Asuka and Lydia, and from what I've seen so far, he haven't pulled those characters out. He's still rocking the Nina, and a lot of people were thinking that the tweet that he made saying he switched to Asuka and Lydia were just to throw people's off his scent. You know, a lot of people try to lap Arslan, download him, and if he say he's switching to a different character, all those people would have to really consider that, or just consider labbing Nina. Now, him showing up here with Nina, is he sticking with her? I would probably bet yes, and I would continue labbing that if I was like studying him. But back to the Reyna player. What's so interesting about this is, Reyna is considered to be not that good. She is kind of like a scrubby character. If you look at her statistics online, she had the worst win rate in the game since the start. Her and Kazuya are kind of like neck and neck. And the reason why I think is because like when you have these ultra popular characters, you have a lot of new people or just like casual people playing those characters, and that's why it can be so low. But even when you look at like the high ranks, Reyna isn't truly doing the best in terms of usage. It is better, but it's not the best. But then also when you take it a step above high ranks and you look at competitive players think Reyna is just trash. Was it Yagami or something like that who was playing Reyna in season 1, and he had some success for a brief moment. But yeah, people just dismiss Reyna as like a non-factor, and this is why I think tier lists and whatnot is so interesting, because you could put all these characters in S and then these characters in A and B and blah blah blah, but like in a tournament environment, bro, it really in this game it's the most balanced, unbalanced game. Everyone is relatively the same type of broken, and every character really is like competitive viable. How strong Ana is in comparison to Reyna, you can close that gap with skill alone. It will be difficult. It will be much easier like if you played a Harong or something, but you can close that gap. And this person, proved that today. They were going up against Arslan Ash and they hit him 6 rounds straight. No one could have imagined this. The last time I seen Arslan get hit with 6 rounds with Shadow, was that Tekken 7? But yeah, this guy is like bodying Arslan Ash, forward 2 mix-ups, making him guess, battling through his defense, battling through his offense, and he's just like cooking them. This is the thing too about these forward 2 attacks, because this is something I've been harping on for a very long time, and I think with this victory a lot more people are going to start talking about Reyna's forward 2, but forward 2s in general, right? These moves are very easy engagers, like when you have a forward 2, or I think Armor King has like a forward 4. There's different variations of these attacks, but when you have like that plus move that goes into a stance, that is a very good tool. And if you could get a read on like how to use this and how to use it safely and the timing of it all, which buttons to press and how they're going to respond, when you do all of that stuff, bro, you can really put a hurt on someone. And this Reyna player kind of showed it, bro. They're using electrics, they're using guard breaks, they're using wall Loki, they're literally using everything to just put on a masterful display. Arslan in a lot of these rounds aren't even given a opportunity to fight back. It's just launch, take you to the wall, and then just like diabolical mix-ups to keep him there. And it's interesting to see someone do this to Arslan Ash, but also this shows that Arslan Ash is still mortal, right? A lot of people really be fearing him and dreading him, but if you lock in, if you bring your A game, you can take him down. He's lost once before and he could lose again. We all have, so this was just an interesting tournament, seeing the way that it's turning out with all of these upsets, with all of these great moments, with all of these no-name Pakistani players really putting on a strong performance, because this is something that Arslan has said, right? His skill isn't in a vacuum, right? And now we see that even with his circle, those guys aren't a vacuum as well. There's many other very good Pakistani players who are just as good, if not better than them, but we know Pakistans can't really travel around the world, so that limits their ability to display some of this skill. But yeah, regardless, these guys are putting on great work, and I just wanted to highlight some of these huge upsets, huge blow-ups, 6-0s all over the place.
Arslan Ash, this is a big problem, ladies and gentlemen. Rage available for Arslan.
On the 4-4-2, gets the follow-up. Another one
Oh
in to the mid.
God! Ladies and gentlemen, Abid Rajput puts this place on fire, brings the house down. He's put the GOAT into losers.